Hi YouTube and everybody out there. I'm making this video for one reason. I want to tell you the story of what happened to my 74-year-old mother-in-law at the hands of the Young Automotive Group. Right before Christmas, she and my mother were in a accident, and it was the other driver's fault. So the car was going to get fixed for free. Wasn't going to cost my mother-in-law anything. This, you can come in. This is the damage that happened to the car. Front fascia, dent in the hood, broke out some of the chrome inserts. That's it. Car ran and drove perfectly. So, my mother-in-law, as you know, when we get older, our sense of reason isn't as good as it used to be. So when she saw this, even though it rode and drove fine, it would make her mad. So unbeknownst to us, we were waiting for her to come to our house after Christmas so we could go down and get an estimate on her car to get it fixed. Well, this was Christmas 2022, so she decided the day after Christmas to go look at inventory at Young Automotive Group. They're a Jeep dealership here in Layton, Utah. She found a Compass. It was a red line edition, and she took it for a test drive and she liked it. So she told them that she would get her car fixed and then come back. They told her no, that was fine. They would take it as it is, or as is, but they would take the cost of fixing it off the price. This is a 2018 Jeep Latitude Plus, Jeep Cherokee Latitude Plus, 70,000 miles. It's a $20,000 car all day long. She thought she got 10,000 trade-in, which is a joke, because once again, she could have got it fixed for free. But she's not thinking clearly. She also was suffering from a concussion. Now they wouldn't know that, but we told them that later. But she had fallen and had a concussion. When we went over her paperwork, they had given her $8,000 for this Jeep. They also, I found the Monroney on the Compass inside the glove compartment, $40,000, which to me that's ridiculous. It's like maybe a $38,000 car. And there was also a Monroney in there for a Trailhawk too. I don't know how that got in there anyway. On her paperwork, it said $45,000 cash price. Now the MSRP said 40. Then they had a bunch of stuff added on. Then it showed the $8,000 taken off for the Cherokee. And then she, so the total before everything was taken off was about $58,000.
Mm-hmm.
$58,000.
After all the extras they added on.
After all the extras they put on.
That they got her to approve.
Yeah, that she approved, and she doesn't remember doing any of it. She says she didn't do it. Her signature's on there. She did it. So, my wife went up to Young Automotive to try to get her out of that deal and get her car back.
The very next day.
Yeah, the very next day. They told her it was too late. The deal had gone through. But she was able to get about $5,500 taken off of extras, extended warranty and crap like that. But I was furious that they took advantage of a 74-year-old. You can tell talking with her for a while that her reasoning isn't as sharp as it used to be. So anyway, I sent off some messages on Facebook and this and that to some of the young owners, and had a lady from the one of their dealerships, I think it was their Chevy dealership, get a hold, text me. Anyway, my wife also talked to two of the managers while she was there, and they were no help at all. So a manager from Jeep finally called me and was telling me, oh, I understand there's a problem and everything else. And I said, yeah, we're not happy at all. Y'all took advantage of her. She could have got the Jeep fixed for free. You should have let her go get it fixed and then trade it in or sell it outright. Anyway, we talked it over, and he said, oh, well, I got the paperwork right here. It wasn't 45, it was 43,000. I'm like, no, I've got it right here. It's 45. He found the right paperwork. He had the wrong paperwork. It was 45. And he tells me that usually they just do a market adjustment of 3,000. Now, for you, those of you that don't know what a market adjustment is, that's just bending over your customer base and making them take it because you can. Because you feel like, well, they can't, supplies are kind of low, so you can just put whatever you want on there. Young Ford in Brigham City also tags on $20,000 market adjustment on their Broncos, $10,000 on their Bronco Sports. Don't know if they're still doing it right now, but as of last year, they were. Anyway, he told me, well, usually we only do 3,000. I said, well, this says 45. So he said, well, I'll take off 1,000. I'll eat the rebate. And I was like, well, can you at least do 2? Because you just said that you only mark them up $3,000. Now, this is a 2022 model, not a 2023. There are other dealerships, Heritage in Brigham City, Heritage Chrysler Jeep. They don't mark them up. They have the MSRP, and then they have a discount of about $1,900 bucks. So anyway, he said he would take off the 2,000. I still wasn't happy. It was something, but they should have wrote her a check for 8 to 10 grand because they totally messed her over.
When you asked them about if it's right.
Oh yeah, and I told him, I said, look, I know legally we don't have a leg to stand on, but morally, that is not right. And I said, would you be happy if your mom or your mother-in-law did a deal like that? If somebody took advantage of her like that? He didn't answer the question. He just said, well, I talked to her first. I called her first before you, and she loves the car and everything else. So it's kind of hard, when the customer's happy. Well, I can tell you right now, my mother-in-law is not thinking clearly. And yes, it is a nice car, and she's happy with it. It's a good-looking little car. It's a Jeep Compass. Like I said, it's a $38,000 car.
It's got all the bells and whistles.
It's got all the bells and whistles, yeah. She doesn't know how to operate half of them. But anyway, that wasn't the issue. The issue was they tacked on $5,000 over MSRP, and then they only gave her $8,000 for her 2018 Cherokee. Leather interior, it runs and drives fine. That's all that's wrong with it. And she could have got it fixed for free. Anyway, so my wife did a review on them, a bad review, because we weren't happy. And apparently the manager of the Layton Jeep called my mother-in-law and said, why did you give us such a bad review? I thought everything was fine. And she told her, well, that was my daughter that did it. He proceeds to tell her, well, he needs to make some phone calls because he's not sure if he can give her the $2,000. So apparently that $2,000 was hush money, or was supposed to buy them a favorable review, which that's not the case. You want a favorable review, Young Automotive Group? Give her back her Jeep. Let her give you the $8,000. Give her back her Jeep because you haven't fixed it yet. It's just sitting here. Either that, or write her a check for 8 to 10 grand.
Oh, and the fact that they were trying to sell it for $23,500.
Oh, and that's another thing. Yeah, they have it advertised with no accidents. They had it for $23,400 or something like that. Now they got it for $21,000. Hello, they haven't even touched it. So if you call to schedule a test drive, I don't know how that's going to work. Anyway, we just thought y'all should know how the Young Automotive Group
Layton,
operates.
Utah.
Well, the whole automotive group, period. Their policies, how they do not appreciate their customer base. They do not treat them right. And I just thought people need to know this. They need to know what's going on. And you got places like Ed Kinley Ford, Super Ford in Salt Lake, Heritage Jeep. All these places are not doing market adjustments. They're doing MSRP.
And it's been 4 weeks since they were going to refund us the $5,500 for all the extra stuff they took off. We still haven't seen that refunded back.
Yeah, that was my wife, so she's still fired up too. So yeah, we still haven't received the $5,500 credit. But anyway, if y'all ever get a chance to leave a review or call them up and tell them, hey, the way you operate your business isn't right, feel free. Anyway, my wife's freezing, so I will let y'all go. But I just wanted to make this video and let everybody know what's going on. Alright, bye YouTube.